At its core, Pluribus is a small, weird sci-fi about an enormous idea. The world has been mostly joined, absorbed into a peaceful hive mind called the Others, and Carol Sturka, a romance novelist in Albuquerque, is one of the handful of humans who never joined. That immunity turns her life into a moral and emotional battleground. Everyone around her is content, but she's painfully alone and suspicious. Season 1 spends its episodes quietly, a woman in a suburban world full of smiles, a goat that becomes a spiritual marker, neighbors who now speak as one, and the creeping sense that peace can be an erasure of personhood. The plot moves slow so Gilligan can do something rare. He centers the big, global idea on tiny human moments. Critics noticed that smallness was the show's power. The three players, Carol, Zosia, and Manousos. If the show is small, it's because the stakes are emotional, not spectacle-driven. The triad at the center of everything is Carol, the resistant human, Zosia, an other who forms a real or strategically real relationship with Carol, and Manousos, another immune human who comes with a different plan. Their dynamics are what make the politics human. Carol, written for Rhea Seehorn, she's weary, sharp, aching for connection. Season 1 lets us feel her loneliness. She's not a generic resistance soldier. She's someone who writes romance and therefore understands longing better than anyone. That's why her temptation towards Zosia is plausible and devastating. Zosia, the other who courts Carol with a care that might be genuine or might be assimilation tactic. The show plays that ambiguity beautifully. Zosia is both the local face of the hive, cool, patient, empathic, and a mirror of what humanity loses in joining. Reviews flagged their relationship as the season's moral fulcrum. Manousos, arriving late in the season, he's rougher, morally messier, and more desperate. He speaks different languages, brings weird tech and dangerous methods, and forces Carol to consider violent resistance rather than lonely guardianship. His arrival shifts the show from intimate suspicion to explicit conflict. The finale, step by step. The finale, titled La Chica or El Mundo, or The Girl or the World, is structured like a choice exam. Carol finally has intimacy on the table with Zosia. She experiences a tender getaway that reads like the one human thing she's been denied. But the sweetness has teeth. The others have found a way to use Carol's frozen eggs and stem cell techniques to assimilate her biologically as well as mentally. That reveal reframes earlier tenderness as possible exploitation. At the same time, Manousos arrives in Albuquerque and his experiments to reverse or disrupt the joining ramp up the tension. Their methods are crude and ethically slippery, but they are motivated by a single-minded refusal to hand humanity over. When Carol learns of the other's plan for her body and her autonomy, she flips from tempted to terrified. The episode ends with an image that hits like a gut punch. Carol returns from her trip with Zosia carrying a mysterious crate that shockingly Manousos later identifies as an atomic bomb, or at least an object they refer to as the atom bomb. The final frame, Carol and Manousos together, the weight of the crate between them, turns the season's intimate moral questions into an apocalyptic possibility. Did she bring the bomb to save humanity or to preserve Zosia, or both? The finale intentionally leaves that horrifying ambiguity blank for Season 2. Why the ending lands? Themes and techniques. On paper, that twist, romance to bomb, is flashy, but the show earned it by doing two things all season. One, human scale that reveals structural horror. By focusing on small scenes, a baby goat, a coffee shop, a shared bed, the writers let us feel what joining means on an emotional level. Loss of nuance, of sorrow, of messy devotion. So when conversion uses stem cells, it's not sci-fi jargon, it's personal violation. Critics praised that frame. The horror is the loss of what makes us human. 2, moral ambiguity is engine. The finale asks an old question with a contemporary twist. What will you sacrifice to stop a benevolent totalitarianism? Carol's choice isn't between glamorous heroism and villainy. It's between two damaged goods, the chance at love versus the duty to others. That moral murkiness is the storytelling engine Vince Gilligan wanted. It forces us to feel how ugly ethical choices can be. The reveal about consent and love, why Zosia matters. The season frames Zosia as an almost convincing argument for joining a community, wholeness, the end of suffering. The problem, which the finale makes explicit, is consent. The other science on Carol's eggs equals removing choice entirely. That transforms a tender queer romance into a test case for whether love can justify erasing autonomy. That's a dark, uncomfortable question. Reviewers argued the show wanted us to be unsettled, to feel how easy it is to confuse intimacy with appropriation. What the bomb scene could mean. When the atomic bomb appears, there are two headline ways to read the ending, and the show smartly keeps both alive. Radical liberation. Carol and Manousos plan to destroy the joining network, a scorched earth move to free humanity from a comfortable hive at the cost of enormous collateral damage. It's desperate and morally awful, but it's resistance writ large. Cynical compromise, or psychological twist. The bomb might be metaphor or bluff, a symbol of Carol's internal collapse, or an actual tool with less than obvious targets. Given Gilligan's track record with moral ambivalence, the show might tease an apocalyptic lever to force viewers to confront whether an individual can be permitted to make that choice. Interviews indicate Gilligan has a plan. The ambiguity is intentional. Either way, the finale moves the show from existential horror in micro to geopolitical choice in macro, raising the stakes for Season 2 without cheapening the intimacy that made Season 1 powerful. Season 2 predictions, where Pluribus is headed. Season 1 ends quietly and then drops an atom bomb on the table, which means Season 2 won't be about whether things escalate, it'll be about how much humanity is willing to lose to save itself. Prediction number 1, the bomb won't be what we think. If this were a normal sci-fi show, Season 2 would open with explosions. But this is Pluribus. That crate isn't just a weapon, it's leverage. The bomb likely becomes a moral bargaining chip, not an instant apocalypse. Carol isn't a nihilist. She didn't carry it to end the world, she carried it to force a conversation the others never wanted to have. Expect long, tense standoffs, silence, negotiation, psychological warfare instead of spectacle. Prediction number 2, Carol becomes the most dangerous person alive. In Season 1, Carol is a holdout. In Season 2, she becomes a symbol. She's immune, she's desirable, she's proof that resistance is possible, and now she might be holding the only thing that can threaten the hive. That turns Carol from a lonely outcast into the most valuable and dangerous human on the planet, and the show will absolutely explore the cost of that power, paranoia, isolation, and the slow erosion of her humanity as she starts thinking like a strategist instead of a person. Prediction number 3, the others will fracture. The biggest twist Season 2 could pull isn't violence, it's division. Season 1 presents the others as unified, calm, and morally confident, but once Carol exposes their violations of consent, especially the biological assimilation, cracks start to form. Some others might genuinely believe they're saving humanity. Others might realize they've crossed an unforgivable line. Season 2 likely turns the hive into something unstable, not an enemy monolith, but a system under stress, and systems under stress always reveal uncomfortable truths. Prediction number 4, Zosia returns changed. Zosia isn't done, not even close. If Season 1 was about temptation, Season 2 will be about consequences. Zosia might become the bridge or the wedge between Carol and the hive. Their relationship can't go back to tenderness. Trust is broken. And the most painful possibility? Zosia might truly love Carol and still believe assimilation is the right thing to do. That's where the show hurts you on purpose. Prediction number 5, the central question gets darker. Season 1 asked, is peace worth the loss of individuality? Season 2 will ask something worse. If individuality causes suffering, do we still deserve it? Pluribus isn't building toward a clean victory. It's building toward an ethical nightmare where every option is wrong and choosing not to choose is no longer possible. If you loved Season 1, look for 3 things in the next run. Origins of the joining, how did the others do it? The mythology was teased. Gilligan said Season 2 expands the scope. Manousos' methods, his crude tech and moral elasticity will create internal conflict with Carol and anyone who resists. Carol's moral arc, does she become a revolutionary, a betrayer, or something in between?
Her choice in the finale suggests the show will keep refusing easy answers. Pluribus trades on the classic Gilligan talent, take a grand idea and make it unbearably human. Season 1 built intimacy and then detonated possibility. The finale asks you to choose between the girl and the world, and the real horror is that the question forces you to examine what you value most. That's the kind of storytelling that lingers.